Shaman's YouTube channel. So I continue on. The top 50 list that the one and only Kool put together like in 2002, 2003. No, early 2000s. He did a book about the top 50 true great MCs in rap. This book came out in 2003. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Number 44, Craig Mack, Master Flavor. Here we go. I'm gonna rain forever, rain like bad weather, rain like whoever never. You can't bite my style, cause my style ain't a style, that is a style, so I can go buck wild. Bet you figure you got more funk for flow. It ain't so, flavor in your ear, you let you know. Now I'm about a second from the hook dook. Scrap your rap book before you get your wet style shook. Craig Mack is incredible. If you read this book and are left out understanding the category for flavor, then pick up Craig Mack's 1994 LP Project Funk the World. Funk, not the other word. Funk the World. Right from the first song, you'll hear an MC playing with multi-flows, flipping, punctuating inflections, backing himself up with the most incredible flavor-filled ad-libs in hip-hop history. Craig Mack is the benchmark for flavor. After hearing Craig Mack, I said that if an MC had Kool D's lyrics, Chuck D's voice, and Craig Mack's flavor, that MC would be unseeable. Craig Mack is at the top of his game on the next 94 singles, Flavor in Your Ear and Get Down. To the common listener, it may sound like frivolous rhyming about rocking mics and outshining other MCs. That's correct. However, in this case, it's not about the what, it's about the how. Hundreds of MCs, including myself, have talked about rocking other MCs. This is one of the fundamental elements of true MCing. But Craig Mack shifted the cadence and flowed in such a unique way that from the point that record dropped until today, an MC's flow became the most important element into his game. Nowadays, if an MC can't flow, he can't blow. There's no more success for the rhymer without flow. Not only does an MC have to flow, but he or she has to have a flavor in the delivery. Craig Mack almost single-handedly raised the bar. Method Man had a hand in this also, but while his influence was subtler, Craig Mack's shift was overtly overstated. Craig Mack also put rhythmic song like inflections in his rhymes combined with wordplay unseen again until Jay-Z and Eminem. Because of the business game, Craig Mack has never matched the success of 1994. He also had the misfortune of coming out at the same time as his label mate, which was B.I.G. The impact of Biggie was too powerful for Craig Mack to be anything other than second. It's like Drexler coming to the NBA at the same time as Michael Jordan. You all know how that turned out. However, like Drexler, Craig Mack got his championship in 94, Drexler in 95, and both ended up on the top 50 list in their professions. Unfortunately, hip hop isn't as organized as the NBA, so I have to let the world know that Craig Mack is a top 50 MC. For his strength, flavor, one of the few MCs that can make the listener have fun. Weakness, too much flavor, because he's so colorful, he's hard to take him seriously on the songs where he's trying to deliver a message. Flavor in Your Ear, Get Down, favorite record project, Funk the World, favorite LP. For his originality, Kool gave Craig Mack 100. To come to the game in 94 with a brand new style that hadn't been heard or done before. And as he said, my style is a style that ain't a style, so I can get buck wild. There was no way to really put your finger on what he was doing. You just knew that he was doing something new and original, and he's what I call an impact player. Thanks for hitting the like button or subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Concepts 85, he's done only 2 albums because of politics in the industry. Just deal with Bad Boy or whatever that was about. In 2 albums you could definitely hear that he was a conceptual MC. There was another song, So What You Gonna Do When God Comes For You? So what you gonna do when God comes for you? He did his thing on the concept side. Flavor in Your Ear, Can I Get Down? But it was versatile for his versatility as a 75. He seemed to approach every record in the same way, even though he dealt in different subject matters. He didn't do a lot more than what he gave you with Flavor in Your Ear, Can I Get Down? Number 85. Number 65. He kept it really simple, comically simple on some levels. Substance 70. Flavor is one of the few MCs that understand the fun aspect of the game. He keeps it in the fun zone. He rhymes to have a good time. He's trying to make you have a good time. It's not a lot of substance, heavy substance there. Flow 95, his flow is incredible. He works in conjunction with originality, where he was bringing the rhymes across had not been done before. I don't think people understood or appreciate the level of ingenuity that Craig Mack brought to the flow aspect of the game. 100 for flavor, that says it all. The name of the song is Flavor in Your Ear. I can't think of anybody more flavorful in the history of the game. He got on the mic, just played with the rhymes and played with the style, and did on a level that I hadn't seen before, haven't seen since. Freestyle ability 75 based on the subject matter, the rhyme style, the lack of vocabulary doesn't mean you can't come off the top of the head. But when you come off the top of the head, a lot of people grade you on a curve. It was just about finishing the rhymes. 90 vocal presence before Ja Rule and DMX, but after Just Ice. Craig Mack was the raspy voice. Because of the flavor, it made him stand out. Live performance 80. Hit records make the show go. Flavor in Your Ear was a winner. I don't know if he ever got the chance to do more than what he was doing. I think there were a lot of timing issues coming out at the same time as Biggie on Bad Boy. Poetic value 60. More rhyme, more flow, more flavor, more color, but not a lot of poetic value. Body of work 70. First album was incredible. The second album, it was production problems or label problems didn't come off that well. Industry impact 70. Craig Mack hit very hard with Flavor in the Air, but the follow up at the Get Down, the album, didn't get a chance to make a real impact in the industry because it came simultaneously with Biggie, which was a good strategy for the label, but not as good for the artist. 65 social impact. The social impact was even less than the industry impact, really because of Biggie. Once Biggie dropped his album, all the attention went to Biggie. Craig Mack got caught up in a quagmire or in the shadow of that energy. After his first single, it's almost like people didn't know what he was doing or where he was at or what was happening. Then he left the label. Nobody knew what happened. Longevity 55, he came in 94 with Flavor in the Air. Then he returned at the end of 98, early 99 with his second album, which didn't really hit, but he didn't make his presence known. 5.5 years gets you 55. 70 for lyrics, he's more of a colorful MC. He wasn't a true lyricist, but he brought the flavor with the style and make the rhyme sing. 65 battle skills. If your rhyme style and lyrical style isn't attacking and challenging, it doesn't mean that you can't battle. But battling is probably not your forte. Based on what you've been using in the battle, based on the indication of your style that precedes the battle zone. 1,290, 75.8. That was the score. 75.8 average score, total score 1,290. All right. Now, he did this list also for his sports equivalent. So we're going to start with number 50, Just Ice. He think in basketball terms, he's like a Moses Malone of rap. Number 49, Mac 10. He felt that he was Malik Rose of rap. Foxy Brown, number 48. Compared her to Nicki McCrimmon. Spoonie G, number 47. Compared him to George Gervin. That's George Gervin of rap. Sports equivalent to that. Anthony Mason, Fat Joe. Jay Woody Damager, Charles Oakley. Craig Mack, Penny Hardaway. Missy Shan, Ralph Sampson. Little Kim, Shamika Holslaw. Big Pun, Larry Johnson. Slick Rick, Earl Monroe. Corrupt, Rasheed Wallace. Mystical, Aaron Davis. Keith Murray, Jalen Rose. Dougie Fresh, Reggie Miller. XT, Dennis Rodman, The Guru. Compared him to Ray Allen. Snoop Dogg compared him to Lamar Odom, Run to Larry Bird, Curtis Moore to Walt Frazier, Scarface to Robert Horry, Black Thought compared him to Jerry Stackhouse, Pharrell Monch compared him to Vince Carter, Common to Eddie Jones, Exhibits and Steve Francis, Heavy D to Isaiah Thomas, Busta Rhymes to Latrice Sprewell, Will Smith, he compared him to like baseball player to Ricky Henderson, Jizza to Kevin Garnett, Raz Cass to Jason Kidd. Then you get to the top 20. He compared Redman to like a Bernard Hopkins of rap, Scottie Pippen, Jerome Bettis, and Bernie Williams. MC Light, he compared her to Teresa Weatherspoon. Ice Cube, number 18, compared to David Tua, Karl Malone, Franco Harris, and Mo Vaughn. Method Man, he compared him to Vernon Forrest, Tracy McGrady, Randy Moss, Derek Jeter. Tretch, Taylor James Tony, Chris Webber, Curtis Martin, Gary Sheffield. Jay-Z, he compared him to Lennox Lewis, Shaq, Donovan Nav, and Barry Bonds. Coogee Rap, He compared Gucci Rap to Pernell Whitaker, Bernard King, Tony Dorsett, Dave Winfield. Tupac, he compared him to Oscar De La Hoya, Allen Iverson, Deion Sanders, King Griffey Jr. Queen Latifah compared her to Cheryl Swoops. Nas, he compared him to Roy Jones, Kobe Bryant, Marshall Falk, Sammy Sosa. Lauryn Hill compared her to Lisa Leslie. Toys B.I.G. compared him to Mike Tyson, Patrick Ewing, Bo Jackson, and Bo Jackson. Football and baseball. Chuck D compared him to Muhammad Ali, Charles Barkley, Lawrence Taylor, Kurt Flood. L. Cool J compared to Evander Holyfield, Magic Johnson, Jerry Rice, Mark McGuire. Grandmaster Caz compared him to Archie Moore, Wilt Chamberlain, Eric Dickerson, and Josh Gibson. Kumo D compared himself to Sugar Ray Robinson. He had himself at number 5. Sugar Ray Robinson, Julius Irvin, Walter Payton, and Willie Mays. Big Daddy Kane. Number 4, sports equivalent to Tommy Hearns, Dominique Wilkins, Dermot Thomas, and Reggie Jackson. KRS-One compared him to Marvin Hagler, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Emmitt Smith, Frank Thomas. Rakim compared him to Sugar Ray Leonard, Michael Jordan, Barry Sanders, Hank Aaron. And number 1 was Melly Mel as a sports equivalent to Joe Louis, boxing, Bill Russell, Jim Brown, Jackie Robinson. All right, so we'll be back at number 43 at 2:30. Talking about MC Shan. That'll be it. Hit the like button. Thanks for the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Till then, talk to you soon.